speed. Make a plan at pausebeforeyouplay.org. That's pausebeforeyouplay.org.
6 of the group of 7 leaders will try to show the club still has the clout to shape world events despite the early departure of President Trump.
Prime Minister Mark Carney and his counterparts from the UK, France, Germany, Italy, and Japan will be joined today by Ukrainian President Zelensky and the NATO chief to discuss Russia's relentless war on its neighbor.
That's WHIO's Will Taylor.
Let's take you next to New York. The Sean Diddy Combs trial heard more testimony yesterday as the prosecution proceeded in the 24th day of testimony.
The special agent for the U.S. Attorney's Office, Delicia Pinland, was on the witness stand. She testified about the flight records, hotel reservations, and videos that prosecutors say connect Diddy to the alleged freak-offs over the years. On Monday, a paralegal for the U.S. Attorney's Office also testified and walked jurors through charts showing correspondence between Diddy's most trusted staffers, including his chief of staff and bodyguard, as prosecutors tried to prove Diddy led a criminal enterprise.
That is Fox's CB Cotton reporting.
This is WHIO Continuing News.
California Democrats proposed legislation to ban face masks for law enforcement officers.
Interestingly, the ban would apply to law enforcement officers, but not to protesters or even criminals. The proposed law, a response to the federal crackdown on anti-ICE protests in Los Angeles. The so-called No Secret Police Act would also require cops to display identifying information on their uniforms.
Fox's Gary Baumgarten reports that SWAT officers and cops wearing riot gear would be exempt from the legislation. WHIO News Time 741.
This is Miami Valley's Morning News. I'm Larry Hansgen. Our 5-day extended forecast is sponsored by Enterprise Roofing. Enterprise Roofing has been repairing and replacing Dayton roofs for nearly 100 years. For a free assessment, go to enterpriserfg.com. And we're joined in studio by Storm Center 7 meteorologist Ryan Mirando to help us navigate some raindrops today.
Yeah, a few more days of some raindrops before the sunshine will return. Today, off and on scattered showers, so probably a good idea to have the umbrella with you just in case. It is noticeably more humid than yesterday, with a high of 80 degrees today. Tomorrow for your Wednesday, we also start near 70 degrees in the morning, 87 in the afternoon, maybe a few downpours in the afternoon, but we are tracking some possible severe weather storms after the sunset tomorrow night, likely past 10 p.m. until about 1 in the morning early Thursday. That's when you want to keep your eye to the sky in case of any of the storms do turn on the stronger side. Now, waking up Thursday morning, we may still have a few early showers to start, less humid with some peaks of sunshine in the afternoon for your Juneteenth. Then the sunshine is fully back on Friday as the first day of summer. Mostly sunny, 87 degrees. Saturday, it's going to feel like summer with a high of 90.
Yeah, live Doppler 7 radar showing a little bit of rain in Indiana starting to push into Preble County right now. We got 70 in Springfield, 70 at Wright Pat, 71 at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Refresh your ride with brand new tires at unbeatable prices. Plus, buy 4 new tires and get 4 free oil changes, an additional $300 value. Make an appointment today at GrismerTire.com.
A live update with Jake Magnotta.
Larry, for those that don't want to be slowing down for the commute right now on 35 West in Beaver Creek, I would exit at North Fairfield Road if you can. Once you're past North Fairfield Road on 35 West, traffic moving very slowly in one lane all the way to I-675. This is because of construction. Also, an area to avoid. I just saw on Facebook, police are asking you to avoid this spot. This is because of a crash about an hour ago in Kettering, County Line Road at Dorothy Lane. This is right near the green. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Jake Magnotta, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
On Wall Street, the Dow closed up 317 points at 42,515. And one of the biggest local events of the summer's on tap this weekend. That story in 2 minutes. WHIO News Time 744.
You've told us that the most important thing about our station is the weather. It's a big responsibility and something we don't take for granted. If there is ever a tornado or severe thunderstorm happening, we have a building full of Storm Center 7 meteorologists and will always provide continuous news, breaking in and giving you non-stop coverage. Plus, hear the weather 24 hours a day, every 15 minutes. It's a promise from 1290 and 95.7 WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk.
I'm sorry.
This is the legendary WHIO, the king of sports in Ohio. We've got the biggest sports teams and leagues on both radio and TV. This year, we're proud to be the home of NFL with Cincinnati Bengals football on Channel 7. The Southwest Ohio home of the Cleveland Browns on WHIO Radio. The biggest Big Ten games during the season every Saturday, including Ohio State football. The CBS NFL Game of the Week. The home of University of Dayton basketball and football. The Touchdown 7 high school football games of the week. The Dayton home of March Madness, the Masters, and PGA Championship. When it comes to the absolute biggest sports brands, WHIO Radio and Television is the king of Dayton sports. WHIO, Dayton's news, talk, and sports station. This is a Consumer Warrior Clark Howard Minute.
Okay, we all know homeowners insurance premiums have gone up, and away. And now I'm going to ask you to pay more on your homeowners insurance. I know what's wrong with me, because there's something that we're not doing. With home values having gone up so much over the last many years, the cost of construction, overwhelmingly, we're underinsured as homeowners. So I'd rather you do the trade-off where you raise the deductible on your homeowner's insurance and raise the coverage limits. It may help cancel each other out, but get you covered for a true disaster. In addition, do you have enough liability insurance on your homeowner's policy? Somebody gets hurt on your property? Most of us don't have enough coverage.
Clark is WHIO's Consumer Warrior, and you can hear him during Miami Valley's morning news on WHIO. Dayton's only all-local news radio station. The power of WHIO Radio and News Center 7 means you'll know first. This is Miami Valley's morning news on WHIO.
747, I'm Larry Hansgen, 71 degrees in Dayton. Big three things you need to know. Chance of showers throughout the day today and a high around 80. The man accused of killing a Minnesota politician and her husband will face both state and federal charges. And our top story, speaking of charges, Montgomery County Clerk of Courts Mike Foley changes his plea.
He's now pleaded no contest to misuse or unauthorized use of a computer in solicitation of campaign contributions.
Yeah, Brittany, the prosecutor charged him with theft in office and unlawfully asking public employees for political contributions.
In a statement, Foley said, "While the issues in question were not my actions, but those of former employees, my name is on the door, and I am ultimately responsible."
That is News Center 7's James Brown.
Workers putting on the finishing touches to this weekend's Dayton Air Show.
2,000 volunteers are working to make this year's event happen, and organizers say there are some acts already booked for next year. The Air Force's Thunderbirds are the headliners this year. The 51st Centerpoint Energy Dayton Air Show runs this Saturday and Sunday.
That's WHIO's Rich Jones.
On social media, Ohio Congresswoman Joyce Beatty says investigators told her that she was on a list of names found with the man they say killed a Minnesota lawmaker and injured another.
Beatty said her office has taken extra security precautions with U.S. Capitol Police.
That is News Center 7's James Brown.
New this morning, Iran warning Israel it will intensify its attacks.
New waves of Iranian missiles have been fired at Israel, with explosions heard in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. The Iranian army says to expect an intensification in the coming hours, with hundreds of drones being launched. The Israeli military, meanwhile, is continuing operations against Iran's capital, Tehran.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage.
And despite rallying, the Pacers couldn't beat the Thunder last night. Oklahoma City winning 120-109 to take a 3-2 lead in the finals.
The Oklahoma City Thunder now one win away from an NBA title. They'll try and clinch it on the road in Game 6.
That was courtesy of ESPN. After chipping away at what was once an 18-point deficit in the second quarter, the Pacers got within 2 in the fourth before the Thunder, led by Jalen Williams, pulled away.
That's Fox's Joe Morgan, Game 6, Thursday. WHIO News Time, 7:49.
And this is Miami Valley's Morning News. I'm Larry Hansgen, and joining me in studio is Storm Center 7 meteorologist Ryan Mirando to walk us through our 5-day forecast.
And the air conditioning is continuing to be blasting with the humidity that's out there. It feels a little bit like summer. We have highs in the low 80s today, not all that far off of where we should be for this time of the year. But we will have a few off and on showers possible around today. Now, tomorrow for your Wednesday, it also starts warm in the upper 60s and low 70s. Lots of clouds tomorrow, warmer in the upper 80s. A few thunderstorms are possible in the early afternoon, but I am tracking a line of some severe storms possible past the sunset tomorrow night. All weather hazards are possible, damaging straight line winds, some large hail, or even an isolated tornado. So it could get loud as most of us are heading to bed tomorrow night. As we get up for your Thursday, we should have a clearing sky, lower humidity with temperatures into the low 80s. And then the sun shines fully back after that as temperatures really ramp up. Friday, mostly sunny. 87 degrees as summer arrives Friday night. Now, any of your weekend plans, it's going to be hot and it is going to be humid too. Welcome to summer on Saturday, that high up near 90 degrees.
And we've got 70 now in Springfield with 70 in Fairborn, 71 at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Expert brake repair you can trust. Make sure you can stop when you need to the most. Get a little peace of mind by making an appointment today with your trusted brake repair experts at GrismerTire.com.
An update with Jake Magnato.
Larry, for anybody trying to get to work on time and they're taking 35 West in Beaver Creek, I would avoid taking 35 West from North Fairfield Road to I-675, this new construction project that started over the weekend, really slowing us down right now. So the left lane's blocked, only the right lane is open. Also in the Kettering-Beaver Creek area, right on the border here, there was a crash around 630 County Line Road at Indian Ripple Road. Police on Facebook asking everyone to avoid the area. The cleanup is expected to take hours. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Jake Magnato, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
Well, I've lived here quite a while, and there is a local amusement park that I had never even heard of until I was listening to The Evening Edge with Todd Holst last night, and you got a chance to visit. We'll tell you more about it coming up in 3 minutes at 7:51.
Nothing is more frustrating than sitting on 75 in traffic and not knowing what's going on. Your phone, not so helpful. That's why we're the home of Triple Team Traffic every 10 minutes. WHIO is Dayton's news and talk. Depend on it.
For This Week in History, I'm Ron Otto. June 16th, 1978, the movie Grease premieres. June 16th, 2015, Donald Trump announces he's running for president.
And we are going to make our country great again.
June 18th, 1815, British and Prussian forces defeat Napoleon at the Battle of Waterloo. June 19th, 1865, Union General I'm Ron Otto with My Sports Rundown. My opinion on the big stories in sports. The Colorado Rockies recently swept the Miami Marlins on the road in a 3-game series. Now, that's a big deal because it was the Rockies' first series win since last year. They're on pace to surpass last year's Chicago White Sox, who passed the 61 Mets as the worst in the modern era, losing 121 games. But doesn't it seem like the bad teams now are worse than they've ever been? 3 teams lost at least 100 games in 2022. 4 teams lost 100 plus in 23, and we know about the notorious White Sox last year. But let's go back to 1996. Only 1 team lost 100 games, the Detroit Tigers, and no teams won 100. There are benefits to tanking for a season, or 10 if you're the Pittsburgh Pirates, but despite luxury taxes, compensatory draft picks, and revenue sharing, it looks like the gap between the haves and the have-nots in MLB is only getting bigger. I'm Ron Otto, and that's my sports rundown.
What is the WHIO Storm Center? It means when you hear these tones, you are just a few minutes away from emergency weather information. Weather is our number one priority. The Storm Center 7 forecast is always on the radio. 1290 and 95.7 WHIO. And when News Center 7 is in wall-to-wall weather coverage mode, you'll always hear it simulcast on WHIO radio. That means you can take your radio to your safe spot and hear exactly what's happening with severe weather. When it comes to weather, we don't mess around.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing zero sugar cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Good morning, Dayton. You're waking up with the information you need to start the day. Miami Valley's morning news continues on WHIO.
Good morning, I'm Larry Hansgen. We've been dealing with rain this morning. Some showers that passed through earlier. More rain starting to push in from Indiana, and that's going to be the case really throughout the day. So have rain gear handy would be my advice. 71 degrees right now at 7:55. Oh, okay. I heard this last night on the Evening Edge with Todd Holes. He was talking about a place called Stricker's Grove. Brittany, have you ever heard of Stricker's Grove?
No, I have not.
Okay. It's a privately owned, old-fashioned theme park. It's only open to the public 4 times a year. It's in Hamilton, and July 4th they're going to be open. Admission is free, but you got to pay for the rides. It's individual tickets, or you can get like a $20 armband for unlimited riding. Individual, Each ride is $3. They've got food and drinks available for purchase. The rides go from 3 to 11 p.m. Then they've got fireworks at 10. It's family-owned, operated, private park. Has a wooden roller coaster designed by Al Collins and built by Ralph Stricker, Stricker's Grove. Only person in the United States to build his own roller coaster. Parking, $5 a car. Before 6, $10 after 6. It's on 11490 Hamilton Cleves Road in Hamilton, Ohio. I had not heard of this.
No, me neither. This is the first, which is kind of crazy.
Do we know how large this area is? Like, is it a large park? Is it kind of like medium sized?
I mean, it says it's an old-fashioned theme park. I mean, it's got assortment of old-fashioned games and rides, and it has 2 roller coasters.
I mean, if it has a roller coaster, that's
2
considered it.
That's going to take up some space.
Yeah.
Can the radio pay for me to go down and check it out? I'll do a report for you guys one morning.
Yeah, I'll sign off on that.
Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you.
But
it's 25 acres.
25 acres, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good size.
Yeah.
But I was really actually shocked that I had never heard of it.
Me too.
Yeah, same.
Now, do you guys remember like La Swordsville Lake, Americana? Do you remember those, that park?
No.
Okay. That was on its way out when I first started here. So
okay.
I could see how you guys would not remember it at all.
No, but didn't there also used to be like some kind of like neat area where our parking lot is now that NCR owned?
Oh,
back
yeah,
in the day?
Old River. Yeah,
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember my grandparents telling me about that.
Yeah, that's just down the hill. Yeah. And, plus at Lakeview, the Lakeview Palladium out there on the west end of town. That was big. You know what the number one tourist attraction in Ohio was at one time?
What?
The VA Center.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, back in like the 1880s, 1890s. People come from all over Ohio to go to the VA Center and listen to concerts and just hang out and, stuff like that. Yeah.
How about that?
All right.
Wow.
Okay, top story today. It deals with a local politician who was facing multiple charges and what he's decided to do. It's 7:58.
WHIO is the Miami Valley's local station. And here's what's happening at WHIO.com.
Mermaids are coming to the Newport Aquarium. You're able to dive into Mermaid Cove and watch as mermaids swim alongside tropical fish. You have the chance to win 2 tickets for this event. You can sign up now to win at WHIO.com. And the Dayton Air Show will be at the Dayton International Airport on June 21st and 22nd with their 50th celebration. The show will feature food and fun for fans of all ages. Register to win you and your family a 4-pack of tickets now at WHIO.com. And you have the chance to win a Dayton-made gift basket created by First Florist. It includes items from Esther Price Candy, Dots Pretzels, and even the Evening Edge with Todd Holst. I'm Sierra Lawson. Sign up now to win at WHIO.com.
WHIO.com, the Miami Valley's #1 news destination.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Hi, this is Larry Hanskin with a message for people who buy your own health insurance. If you're someone, maybe you're retiring early, you need coverage to get you to Medicare, you're not covered with health insurance because you think it's just too expensive, or maybe you're ready for Medicare and you don't know which plan's right for you. If any of that sounds like you need to get in touch with Clay Ruffner at Longbow Health. I met with Clay. He's right here in the Miami Valley. His plans are very good, and he can save you thousands of dollars on your health insurance premiums with better coverage, and you get to keep your doctors. Give Clay a call today at 937-788-7713. That's 937-788-7713. Not a call center. That's his phone number. He'll answer. His services are free. You've got nothing to lose and a whole lot of money to save. Give Clay Ruffner a call today at Longbow Health, 937-788-7713, or online at longbowhealth.com.
Dayton's News and Talk is heard free on the TuneIn Radio app. Download it today. This is the station Dayton turns to first for live team coverage of breaking news. WHIO Dayton Springfield, celebrating 90 years of being Dayton's news and talk station. Depend on it.
Good morning, it's 8 o'clock. I'm Larry Hanskin, and welcome to Miami Valley's Morning News. We are live on Tuesday, June 17th. We have 72 degrees in Dayton. Here are the big three things you need to know. Yep, some showers throughout the day today, a high of 80. President Trump leaves the G7 early due to the ongoing conflict between Israel and Iran. And our top local story, the Montgomery County Clerk of Courts changed his plea in a criminal investigation.
Mike Foley pleaded no contest to misuse of unauthorized use of a computer and solicitation of campaign contributions.
That's News Center 7's James Brown. The prosecutor charged Foley with theft in office and unlawfully asking public employees for political contributions.
In a statement, Foley said, "While the issues in question were not my actions, but those of former employees, my name is on the door, and I am ultimately responsible."
Last month, Judge James Pierdes faced sentencing after pleading guilty to obstructing official business connected to this case.
Of course, we're going to continue to follow this case and bring you the latest details here on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
A few showers today. I'm Storm Center 7 meteorologist Ryan Mirando. I'm tracking big storms before big heat in the Storm Center 7 forecast coming up.
Well, if you don't want to be stuck on westbound 35 in Beaver Creek, I would exit at North Fairfield Road right now. Only one lane is open from here to I-675 due to road work. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Jake Magnotta, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
I'm Larry Hanskin. This is Miami Valley's Morning News.
I'm Brittany Otto.
And I'm Jeremy Ratliff.
Now, constantly updating stories with new details, the coroner has identified a missing 7-year-old girl who recently drowned in a retention pond.
The Butler County Coroner's Office said the girl, Mardacia Forte, died from an accidental drowning.
That's WHIO's Rich Jones reporting.
Now, 2 local attorneys are filing a class action lawsuit against Kettering Health after a recent cyber attack.
Wright and Schulte is representing hundreds of people claiming the hospital group should have known about the potential of online attacks to their network. Information on tens of thousands of people was stolen, including social security numbers, insurance, and health information.
That is WHIO's Ron Otto reporting. Now, Kettering Health says the ransomware group Interlock stole over 700,000 files from their network on May 20th.
We have a quick update for you on the man that police say punched a child's mother in the face, then took off with her son.
After hearing the evidence, police had a grand jury just indicted Adam Anderson. This all started on East 3rd Street in Dayton earlier this month. But then about an hour later, officers found Anderson and the child at a convenience store in Riverside. Officers pointed a gun at Anderson and arrested him. The child was not hurt. At the time, Anderson also was wanted in Kentucky on violent crimes charges.
That's News Center 7's James Brown.
A woman behind bars in the investigation into a suspicious death in Richmond, Indiana.
Officers say Jasmine Cash was served a warrant while in jail on unrelated charges. She's been charged with dealing a controlled substance resulting in death, which is a felony.
That is WHIO's Jason Michaels. Richmond police working together with the Wayne County prosecutor and coroner's offices throughout this investigation.
Israel and Iran continue to send strikes against each other as Israel hits Iran's state TV station. Fox's Jeff Paul reports.
That moment happened about an hour after Israel had issued a warning for the area the state television station was located in. Officials in Iran saying the state television building was hit with multiple bombs, calling it, quote, a wicked act of war crime. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz released a statement claiming responsibility for the attack, adding, quote, we will strike the Iranian dictator everywhere.
President Trump left the G7 summit early and is expected to meet with the National Security Council and warned Tehran to evacuate.
Now, shooting at a block party in Cleveland leaves one person dead, 5 others injured yesterday morning.
The shooting happened around midnight on Luther Avenue when an argument involving multiple people escalated into gunfire. Now, cops add a dog was also shot and killed, and the party was held without a permit.
That is WHIO's Ian James.
2 new wave giants, including one band from Ohio, come together for one tour.
New wave icons Devo and the B-52s are joining forces for a co-headlining run. The Cosmic Devolution Tour set to hit 11 North American cities starting September 24th in Toronto.
That's Fox's Michelle Polino, WHI News Time 8:05.
I'm Larry Hansgen. This is Miami Valley's Morning News.
Santos driving baseline. Skips it out to Bennett for 3. Got it! 55-44. The Florida homecoming continues for Javon Bennett.
And Javon Bennett and the Dayton Flyers are going to be taking on the UC Bearcats again this season, but this time not at a neutral site, not at Heritage Bank Center, but the start of a 2-game home-and-home series. Bearcats will host the game this coming season on Tuesday, November 11th, with the Flyers then hosting the following season. The Cincinnati Series Flyers' third most played opponent behind only Xavier and Miami. And also information regarding the non-conference schedule at UD. CBS Sports' John Rothstein reporting that Dayton will play a home-and-home series with Florida State, with that series beginning at UD on December 16th. Well, still to come, more fallout from the drug overdose death of Matthew Perry. That story in 2 minutes. WHIO News Times 8:06.
I know it's scary to hear someone tell you to get in your safe spot during a storm. But aren't you glad we're here to say it? Live Storm Center 7 coverage during any weather situation. WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk. Depend on it.
Are you tired of dealing with the same health problems like headaches and back pain and still only utilizing a Band-Aid to cover up the symptoms? Then tune into Living the Full Life, where Dr. Juan explains how to get to the root cause of the problem and fix it. Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on WHIO Radio.
This is a Consumer Warrior Clark Howard Minute.
I want to tell you about a deal that you can do for your savings. Series I savings bonds, available right now, have reset to a new base rate. What does that mean? Series I savings bonds you can buy for as little as $50 to as much as $10,000 in a year, carry 2 interest rates. One is a fixed rate for all through the years you own it, from 1 to 30 years, that gives you above inflation 1.1%. So they give you that 1.1%, so you're always doing better than inflation, plus the current rate of inflation. Added together right now, that's right at 4%. And every 6 months, it resets based on what inflation is, but you're always getting 1.1% more than inflation. Go to treasurydirect.gov to buy them.
Clark is WHIO's Consumer Warrior, and you can hear him during Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO.
Fire yesterday at a local metal finishing business.
Investigators said a tank of rust inhibitor caught fire. The flames then damaged the roof. This happened at the Electro Polish Company on Hunter Avenue, just off Kiowee Street. No one was hurt.
That's News Center 7's Gabrielle Enright.
Updating market news for you. Calm returned to Wall Street yesterday, and U.S. stocks rallied.
Oil prices gave back some of their initial spurts following Israel's attack on Iranian nuclear and military targets at the end of last week. The S&P 500 climbed 0.9% Monday to recover most of its drop from Friday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average added 0.8%, and the Nasdaq Composite rose 1.5%.
That is WHIO's Benjamin Fridkiss.
A popular home decor store now filing for bankruptcy, eliminating $2 billion in debt.
The chain At Home announced it filed for a Chapter 11 protection as it restructures. The process would give the company $2 million in capital. At Home business has been facing challenges from the rise of tariffs and had a missed interest payment last month.
That's WHIO Sierra Lawson. At this time, it's unclear how bankruptcy will affect their 260 locations.
And the man accused of killing a Minnesota lawmaker and her husband and shooting another lawmaker and his wife has now learned the federal and state charges he's going to face. Fox's Gernal Scott reports.
Vance Belter will face federal counts of murder and stalking, along with state counts of first-degree murder and attempted murder being sought. Acting U.S. Attorney for the District of Minnesota, Joe Thompson, said Belter had more targets in mind.
In the early morning hours of June 14th, Belter went to the homes of 4 Minnesota state politicians with the intent to kill them.
The next federal court hearing is set for June the 27th.
This is WHIO Continuing News.
The doctor charged with giving Matthew Perry ketamine in the months leading up to his overdose death pleads guilty.
Dr. Salvador Plasencia pled guilty to 4 counts of distribution of ketamine Monday. Prosecutors say that plea carries a maximum sentence of 40 years in prison.
That's WHIO's Ian James. WHIO News Time 811.
This is Miami Valley's Morning News. I'm Larry Hansgen. Our 5-day forecast is sponsored by Enterprise Roofing. Enterprise Roofing has been repairing and replacing Dayton roofs for nearly 100 years. For a free assessment, go to enterpriserfg.com. And we've got some rain to begin the next 5 days as we're joined by Storm Center 7 meteorologist Ryan Mirando.
And Larry, are you a fan of the air show, the Dayton Air Show? Yeah.
No, not really.
No, not really. Well,
but I'm in the minority there.
Well, maybe you can relax by the pool then this weekend because it's going to be super nice. But in the meantime, we've got a few more cloudy days, some rain still to get through today. It's not a washout, but you may notice some passing showers. It's humid today with a high near 80 degrees. Now, tomorrow for your Wednesday, it'll be warmer. 87 is the high. We'll still have lots of clouds, perhaps a few rumbles of thunder in the afternoon, but the cold front that brings us the sunshine this weekend arrives tomorrow night after the sunset, where we are tracking the possibility of some severe weather. Damaging winds, some hail, or even an isolated tornado is possible after the sunset tomorrow until about 1 a.m. early Thursday morning. So keep your eye to the sky by then. Stay weather aware. Waking up on Thursday, maybe a few more leftover showers. It's noticeably less humid for your Juneteenth with a high of 82. Then the sunshine is fully back on Friday, 87 degrees as things begin to warm up. Summer officially arrives late Friday night. And then welcome to summer, the first full day of it on Saturday. It feels like it with a high of 90 degrees.
We got 70 right now in Springfield, 70 in Troy, 72 at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Refresh your ride with brand new tires at unbeatable prices. Plus, buy 4 new tires and get 4 free oil changes, an additional $300 value. Make an appointment today at GrismerTire.com.
A live update with Jake Magnotta.
Very an annoyance for us this morning. Again, it's going to be that way for the next several months on 35 West in Beaver Creek from North Fairfield Road to I-675. We only have 1 lane open because of construction. So if you do want to save a little bit of time, if you're on 35 West, I would exit at North Fairfield Road. A few other issues. We still have this crash from around 6:30 being cleaned up at County Line Road and Indian Ripple Road. It's near the Kettering and Beaver Creek border, close to the Green. Police have asked everyone to avoid the area. Was just hearing reports of a crash southbound State Route 4 near Stanley Avenue in Dayton, as well as a crash in Washington Township, 725 at McEwen Road. With traffic every 10 minutes, I'm Jake Magnotta, WHIO Triple Team Traffic.
Reds back in action tonight, hosting the Twins. Dragons start a 6-game series with Fort Wayne this evening at Day Air Ballpark, and Still to come, a nighttime drone attack on the Ukraine capital city. That story in 2 minutes. WHIO News Times 8:14.
This is Dayton's only 24-hour local weather, traffic, and news station. We know that if you scan the dial in town, practically every other station just plays music. Sometimes you just need to be plugged into what people are talking about in the Miami Valley. And that's the kind of station we're building. The stuff you really need to know. 1290 and 95.7 WHIO. Dayton's News and Talk. Depend on.
Drive less and live more. Instead of driving alone, find ways to bike, walk, take the bus, or carpool if possible. It will save you money and improve your health, all while reducing air pollution. Try biking to an event, carpooling with friends to a festival, taking the bus to the movies, or walking to pick up your lunch. Get started at drivelesslivemore.org or call 937-223-SAVE.
Ready to transform your ride? Fat Boys in Centerville and Moraine has the wheels, tires, lift kits, and accessories you need. Built to be bold. 2 locations, endless possibilities. Fat Boys, where your custom build comes to life. For more info, search Fat Boys Dayton online.
Carts and Parts is your home for all things golf car. With 0% financing options available for qualified buyers, you can get that golf car you've always wanted.
Call us today or visit us online at cartsandparts.com. That's cartsandparts.com.
Attention job seekers. KTH Parts Industries is expanding their top-notch automotive manufacturing team. Join the second shift with starting pay at $21.66 per hour. Enjoy competitive pay and benefits while making an impact through innovative work. Ready to take the next step? Visit kth.net today.
Midway Trailers is now Rodock. Same great family-owned company with the same great service and staff. You'll find a trailer and quality brand for every need. When you need to haul, give Rodock a call. Visit Rodock.com. That's RODOC.com.
Whatever the weather outside, stay comfortable inside with Tanner Heating and Air Conditioning, where quality and comfort matter the most. Our cost-effective systems for your home or office and planned service will save you some bucks. Bucks. That's right, Sarah bucks. That will keep your wallet happy. Tanner Heating and Air Conditioning, a reliable local family-owned company that always produces great results. This is Sarah Tanner. Call 299-2500 or go to tannerhvac.com to schedule today. Tanner Heating and Air Conditioning, a name you can trust.
This is a Consumer Warrior Clark Howard Minute.
If you or a family member or friend ends up with a medical diagnosis, what do you do first? You want to be an informed patient, right? You want to know everything you can about what you've been tentatively diagnosed with. So you go to Dr. Google. You go do a Google search, and a lot of what you're going to find is going to be a bunch of junk. And I can tell you from my own experience, if you want to find the best information, you need to dig deep in reading the medical journals that doctors read. The New England Journal of Medicine, the Journal of the American Medical Association, the British journal Lancet. I found this to be so helpful to me when I was diagnosed with cancer 17 years ago. And what I found out changed the course of my treatment and my life.
Clark is WHIO's Consumer Warrior, and you can hear him during Miami Valley's morning news on WHIO.